Good morning, it's Jessie, and I'm going to bring you a word for the third time today, actually, because every video I recorded didn't record, even though it looks like it's recording. And I was bringing you a word about John 5, okay? In John 5, we find the man who had been there for 38 years, the invalid. We find Well, let me just read it to you. He says, "Sometime later, Jesus went up to Jerusalem for one of the Jewish festivals. Now there is in Jerusalem, near the sheep gate, a pool, which in Aramaic is called Bethesda, and which is surrounded by 5 covered colonnades. Here a great number of disabled people used to lie, the blind, the lame, and the paralyzed. One who was there had been an invalid for 38 years. When Jesus saw him laying there and learned that he had been in this condition for a long time, he asked him, 'Do you want to get well?' 'Sir,' the invalid replied, 'I have no one to help me into the pool when the water is stirred. While I am trying to get in, someone else goes down ahead of me.' Then Jesus said to him, 'Get up, pick up your mat and walk.' At once the man was cured. He picked up his mat and walked. I wanted to bring you this message as a word of encouragement, because there are a lot of things holding us back that are completely out of our control, and people will look at us and look down at us for why we sit in our condition for so long, not knowing that there are chains on us that we have no power or control over, like the fact that I recorded 3 videos on YouTube this morning, and all I have in the place of the video tab is little white screens. So we can see how the devil inhibits us. We can see how he leaves us paralyzed, unable to speak. And if we're able to speak, we're not able to speak to anybody else. He has ways of manipulating appearances to make it look like, we have no desire to be in the world, but that's false. You see, this man who was sitting at the pool, he would have gotten up if he could have gotten up. In fact, he did get up and try to get into the pool, but other people went down before him and he couldn't fit in. He couldn't fit in, and it took a mighty move of God to get him up and get him healed. So while we're sitting here criticizing people who are laying in their conditions, we need to understand that sometimes God will leave someone crippled so that his glory can shine through them. Like in the case of this man who had been crippled for 38 years, it took a move of God. Stop blaming people for their conditions that they're in. Be patient and watch in joyful hope, because it just might be an opportunity for God to reveal himself in all his glory and magnificence, to show what he can do. Because everybody here, so many people went into this pool to be healed. Like the waters were magical and were their saving grace when they didn't need water. They didn't need a pool. All they needed was for Jesus to pass by and to have an encounter with him. The man didn't even know how to respond, and instead of responding with a yes to Jesus, when Jesus asked him, "Do you want to get well?" he gave Jesus a reason for why he was sick. Like, "I tried to get in the pool when the water was stirred, but when I'm trying to get in, someone else goes down ahead of me. I couldn't fit in. I don't know how to do it. I can't make it on my own." This is a place where God shows his glory, because we're not meant to make it in our own. Our weakness is perfected with his strength, right? His strength is perfected in our weakness. Say it the other way around. But what I'm trying to say is, let us not judge one another for sitting next to a pool that we can't get into. Let us recognize circumstance, and let us recognize that the pool is not God. The pool only has room for however many people that it accommodates, and it can't do any more than it's meant to do. It can't go any further than the capacity for which it was built for. But God can go further. God doesn't need the pool. God can speak a thing into existence. He can say, pick up your mat and walk. You know what I'm saying? So don't worry about the pool. The man who's sitting down there, don't worry so much about him either. Don't condemn him. Maybe drop him off some lunch every now and then. Take care of him, because God said that whatever you do for the least of my brothers, you've done for me. So absolutely take care of him, because we're instructed to do that. But don't condemn him for not being able to fit in. There's plenty of people in this world who don't fit into it. Let us raise the bar higher. Let us come a little higher, up into a new standard that says, love one another. Recognize the opportunity and wait in joyful hope for him to make his appearance, because surely, as he did for this man, if he did it before, he'll do it again. Look at these opportunities, because I'm not going to say disabled people. I'm not going to say crippled people. I'm not going to say lazy people, complacent people. I'm not going to say any of that for anybody sitting next to the well, next to the pool, waiting to be well. I'm not going to label them like that, but I'm going to label them as an opportunity. Look at these opportunities for God to show himself, and show himself mighty and strong, because this is where we're going to see it. Because where we run out, he runs in, and these people who are sitting there are certainly the people who have run out. These are certainly the people who have run out and have created this wonderful opportunity. And we should actually thank them for their suffering, because if it had not been for them, we may not see the glory of God. Jesus did 33 miracles, and this is one of them. Pick up your mat and walk. Let us appreciate these opportunities for what they are. An opportunity to see the Almighty work. Right? Praise God. Have a good day.